Aladdin Sane is an album that deals primarily with fears, exposing the anxieties that nested in Bowie's mind. Most tracks are affected by his encounter with America and the paranoias it awakened in him. With Time, however, he goes back to a more general fear, one that he has already dealt with in previous albums. What does Aladdin Sane have to tell us about time?
Time, he's waiting in the wings. He speaks of senseless things. His script is you and me, boy.
Once again, Bowie is comparing living with acting. The singer is an actor on the stage of life, and time is his prompter, standing in the wings and whispering the words he is supposed to say. Our lives, then, should be lived in awareness of the passage of time, in order to be played out right. But the words that time whispers make no sense, and the singer is left to stand on stage with no knowledge of the part he should play. He is unable to figure out the way to live within time. We are reminded of An Occasional Dream, where the hero wasted his life either dreaming about the future or reminiscing about the past, instead of living in the now. There, too, there was something constantly whispering in his ear.
Time, he flexes like a whore, falls wanking to the floor. His trick is you and me, boy.
Time wants us to impregnate it with meaningfulness. It flexes before us, spreading its legs several decades wide, inviting us to a meaningful intercourse. But when we fail to find a way to penetrate it and satisfy its desire, it is left suspended in mid-air, and eventually falls to the floor, where it has to satisfy itself.
Time, in quaaludes and red wine, demanding Billy dolls, and other friends of mine, take your time.
The substances that Bowie mentions are used to take our mind off time, to help us forget that we are living a meaningless existence, moving ever closer to death. But those substances can also terminate our existence, which is what happened to Billy Dolls, a name that denotes Billy Mercia, the drummer of the New York Dolls, whose drug-related death in late 1972 inspired this song. When this happens to one of our friends, we are suddenly snapped out of our comfortable haze and become aware of the passage of time, and the fact that life is ephemeral.
The sniper in the brain, regurgitating drain, incestuous and vain, and many other last names. Oh, look on my watch, just as nights will in 5, and I think, oh God, I'm still alive.
It's like there's a sniper in your brain, shooting you down whenever you manage to forget about time. When it does, it throws in your face all the things you usually manage to suppress, all the drain of your existence. Once again, we are reminded of An Occasional Dream, where the soft whispering voice suddenly becomes adamant and reiterates time, forcing us to face ourselves. The singer is reminded of time, looks at his watch and realizes that it is late, and that he still did not figure out what to do with his life.
Should be home by now. Should be home by now.
The phrase, "we should be on by now," can be understood in the terms posed in the first verse of the singer being an actor in the play of life. In this interpretation, it would mean that he should have been on stage by now, playing an exciting role, but he is still in the dressing room, trying to figure out what his role should be. But we are also reminded of Rock and Roll Suicide, where the hero also feels that he is not within time, that he just passes by life, until someone reaches to him and tells him to turn on with me, showing him how to live. So being on can be understood in this regard as well. But here, no one gives him a helping hand, and he cannot figure out how to be on. Meanwhile, the clock keeps ticking.
You are not a victim, You just scream with boredom. You are not evicting time.
The singer acknowledges that not all people are plagued with this anxiety. The wordplay "not a victim, not evicting" evokes a person who is not driven like him with a need to infuse their existence with meaning, but simply goes on through life, playing the part written for them by others. They may be more comfortable in their existence, but, he says, their existence is nothing but a bore. Suddenly, the music stops. The rush of the world goes away, and the singer is left to face himself and the anxiety of his impermanence. Then, the sniper in the brain snipes again, and the realization that you are getting old comes swooping in with a shriek of terror, a moment that was dramatized on stage in the form of Mick Ronson pouncing on Bowie and knocking him to his knees. With all its terror, however, this moment of clarity can also be the beginning of something new.
Chimes cut and you're looking old. You're freezing, catch a cold, 'cause you've left your coat behind. Take your time.
Leaving your coat behind can be understood as a metaphor for shedding your old identity, and thus stepping out of the comfort zone of living life as you have been told to, and trying something new and unsafe. It leaves you out in the cold, without protection, where you might freeze and die, but you may just find a way to take your own time and discover something meaningful to do with it.
Breaking up is hard, but keeping dark is hateful. I had so many dreams, I had so many breakthroughs, but you, my love, were kind. But love has left you dreamless. The door to dreams was closed. Your park was real and dreamless. Perhaps you're smiling now, smiling through this darkness. But all I have to give is guilt for dreaming. We should be on by now. We should be on by now.
The you of the beginning of the verse, the one who is not a victim, turns out to be the singer's lover. She does not have any dreams, does not try to write her own role in the play of life, but just passes through it. As a result, the park she plays in is more realistic than his, but it is also greenless, devoid of true life. He realizes now that he has to break up with her if he wants to keep on dreaming, keep on trying to be on. Love, here, is described as opposite to true existence. It is her love for him that made her complacent, made her forget about her dreams, and he is not prepared to let that happen to him. He may feel guilt for the dreams that formed this void between them, but at least the dreams made him achieve breakthroughs, and he is unwilling to give that up. Once again, then, Bowie answers the problem of time with the concept of changes. The way to infuse your time with meaning is to keep on dreaming of something else, keep trying to get there, and keep breaking new grounds in the process. If it means you have to leave some people, and a part of yourself, behind, then so be it.